Hey guys, it is Cassandra and welcome to the week of Wonder Woman. That's right, for this week all of my videos will be Wonder Woman themed, leading up to the grand finale of the Wonder Woman movie that is coming out this weekend, the June 2nd, the Friday the June 2nd. So, and I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait. So today I am going to show you my new tattoo. You might have noticed it in a few of my fashion videos that I had something weird going on my arm. Was that a cut? Did she hurt herself? What's up with that arm? It's my new tattoo. I'm going to attempt to show it to you here, but it's really hard. It's not a good spot. There we go. It's right there. Here, let's get closer. I will also include a picture that I took of it. So, let me get myself comfortable now so we can talk about this. I did record the footage of this actually being tattooed, so I'm not going to show the entire thing because, to be honest, this took about 2.5 hours to do, and nobody wants to see that. So I'm going to have a couple of clips like sped up to give you an idea of what was going on, because it was a long process, but it was cool. I love it. I love it. It was done by Lauren at Into the Sun Tattoos in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, which, if you're a horror fan, that is also where the original Blob movie was filmed. It's actually in the theater a couple of doors down from Into the Sun, called the Colonial. So there's a lot of history going on in Phoenixville, and I had gone there to get my new Wonder Woman tattoo for a couple of reasons. First off, I have never been tattooed by a woman before. Never. So that was amazing. My first lady tattooer, and she's so good, so talented, so amazing. We had a lot of fun together. It was 2.5 hours, so I had to spend a lot of time with her, and it was a great time. Second, this is the first tattoo that I've ever actually had designed for me. All of my other tattoos, let's see, this is number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, this is number 6, right? No, 7. I forgot about my other one. This is tattoo number 7. And most of the time what I do is I bring in a picture and I'm like, I just want this tattooed here. And then I'll give you like my spot and the picture, and you just kind of carbon copy it onto me. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. This time, however, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted. I knew I wanted a Wonder Woman tattoo, and I knew I didn't want a portrait. Don't get me wrong, there are some amazing portrait tattooers out there, but it's just not what I was looking for. I was looking for something a little more cooler, a little more me, just a little different. So Lauren was ready to run with it when I had given her the idea, and I had said maybe something like with her tiara and bracelets, and maybe with the lasso, like that kind of thing. Because I have seen some other cool tattoos that were just like the Wonder Woman outfit or something like that. But yeah, so when I arrived at the tattoo parlor, she showed me the drawing, and I will show you. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of the black and white when it's actually applied to my skin, and yeah, and it was awesome. Now I will say at first I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted it, because I do have some spots on my body that I'm looking for future tattoos, and I'm kind of saving space for them, if that makes sense. So I knew where I didn't want it. What I didn't know is where I did want it. So we just kind of agreed with here, because like neither of my, like I have tattoos on the undersides, but not on this side. So we had plenty of space to work with. So we went with here. We did shrink it just a little tiny bit because it was giant. We didn't shrink it that much though, like maybe I think an inch, if that. And we went with it. And if you'll notice, like the way she tattooed it kind of gives it like a metallic look to it. So you can see like the tiara and the bracelets kind of look like that they have a like golden, bronzy kind of tinge to them. And that was done in a very, very painful way. Now, usually tattoos are colored in the way the background is here in a solid form. Like, see how this is just solid? And that's just kind of like a crayon. Like, they have a larger needle that they're just kind of like, and it's like coloring with a crayon. And it's not painful. I mean, okay, no tattoo is completely pain-free. I will tell you that right now. So stop asking if it hurts. Yes, it hurts. But it's not ever anything that, well, I shouldn't say not ever. My back tattoo hurt a lot. It's generally like something that's pretty easy to deal with and you're just like, all right. So this tattoo, however, was colored in differently. They're, instead of just like shading, it's actually all polka dots. So instead she used the same needle that they use for the outlines and just did all these polka dots. So needless to say, this hurt a lot. Well, and when I say that, I mean it was more painful than my other tattoos, except my back tattoo. That was the worst. But it was still something that I was just kind of like, oh, that hurts. I wasn't screaming in pain. I wasn't agonizing. I wasn't writhing in pain from anywhere. I was just like, yeah, that's a little more painful than normal. Nothing awful. Could be worse. I've had a kid. It could be worse. So the result of that is this kind of metallic look to it, and I love it. It's amazing. What else do I want to? Oh, we'll talk about the aftercare. So since this was done in a more, I don't want to use the word painful, in a more, it was more damage to my skin than a normal tattoo would be. So as a result, the scabbing and everything was heavier than the rest of my tattoos were. The rest of my tattoos never really scabbed too much. They kind of went straight to the peeling thing. So if you're familiar with tattoos, I will let that go. But if you're not familiar, let me tell you a little bit about how it works. So basically what this is a big open wound. Well, not now. Now it's healed. But when you first get a tattoo, it's basically a big open wound. It's like somebody's kind of cutting you a bunch of million times over and over again. So as a result, there's a possibility that you're going to get scabs, quite like when you cut yourself. Anytime, whether you scratch your skin or cut yourself with a knife, chances are you might get a little scab. So same goes true with a tattoo. You might get a scab. Now, because this was done differently, my scabs were kind of thicker, they were a little bit bigger, and I'm okay with that. It just means it took a little bit longer to heal. And during that time, you want to make sure that you don't pick at your scabs. Okay, how about for anything you have scabs, don't pick at your scabs. That's gross. That's gross and it's unhealthy, and don't do it. Ew. So, don't pick at your scabs. And then once the scabs have all fallen off on themselves, by themselves, not on themselves, by themselves, you move to the peeling stage. And this is an awful lot like a sunburn. You know, you get burned by the sun and eventually your skin peels off. And again, don't peel it yourself, just let it slough off on its own, because that's how you injure your new skin that's either on, let's say we burned our shoulders. So you don't want to ruin the skin that is not burned, and you don't want to ruin the skin that's the new skin that's underneath the burn. So don't peel it. I know you want to. I know you want to. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me and say you don't, because you do. Everybody does. It's a thing. Trust me. So no peeling. Absolutely none. You let it go by itself. When you wash it, you just kind of let the water run over it. You don't rub it. When you dry it, pat it with a towel like this. Don't rub it. Don't scratch it. Don't do any of that stuff. It's bad. So, and then when that is done, you're pretty much healed. Like, that is kind of where this is at. Like, we just recently had the peeling finish. It's still a little sensitive in a couple of areas, but for the most part, it is pretty healed. So what I do now is I apply some lotion every once in a while when I feel like my skin is getting dry, because my skin gets dry sometimes like everybody else's. And then when we go out in the sun, we put sunscreen on our tattoos, which, by the way, hey, do you use sunscreen? Do you know of a sunscreen that doesn't smell that like beachy sunscreen smell? Because I don't want to smell like that every day. Leave me some comments if you have a suggestion for a great sunscreen that isn't smelly. Tell me about it. Maybe I'll try them out. So, I think that's pretty much everything about the tattoo. Don't scrub it. Don't pick at it. Just let it kind of heal on its own. Now, every tattoo artist will have their own form of healing. For their aftercare instructions vary a little bit. For the most part, they're all generally the same, but everybody kind of has a little different thing. So if you get a tattoo, just ask your tattooist what their aftercare instructions are. Trust me, they will be happy to tell you. And feel free, like every time I get a tattoo, I go to different people and I'm always like, hey, what are your aftercare instructions? Because everybody's varies a little bit. Maybe you'll find one that you really love. So we're gonna go here, and I am going to give you some of the footage of me getting a tattoo. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them for me down there in the comments. I don't know that I'm a tattoo expert. I have 7 of them in 7 different locations. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Go see that Wonder Woman movie on June 2nd. Go. Okay, maybe that's a Friday, so you don't have to go on June 2nd. But go, definitely go see it. We need to support our girl and get this movie going. And we want it to be #1 at the box office. That's the goal. Let it be #1. Let the studios know that we need more women-oriented action movies like Wonder Woman, because she's amazing. And yeah, also make sure you visit my Patreon. There's some really cool stuff over there that you can get for rewards. You can help me pick some stuff to do some stuff on here. You can get a handwritten letter from me. Do you want me to write you something? Go over there and become a patron. And then you'll get stuff, because that's the best part. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see all of my videos, especially this week of Wonder Woman. Make sure that you're checking out all of them, because it will be amazing. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Dear Cassandra Morgan, and over on Twitter as Cassandra Morgan. I will see you next time. Bye.